Well, this particular video is a sequel, if you like, a shorter sequel to one my colleague Alex produced recently. It's called Passive Video, and this video only really makes sense if you watch that one first. I just want to focus on a little bit that's a little bit extra that's true of the passive voice. There are some verbs that cause you to get two different versions of the passive, two different versions of the sentences, and you choose the one that you want to talk about. The meaning is the same. So, for example, let's look at this first picture. So you'll have seen in Alex's video that we had the children eat the apples, and you turn that round using the past participle. The apples are eaten by the children. Now, there are some verbs that lend themselves to having an object, a direct object, obviously, but also an indirect object. So listen to this one. The children sent the apples to Grandma. Okay, so you've got the children who are the subject, you've got the apples, and they're going to Grandma. And when you look at this one, what you can do is you can swap them round. So when we make it passive, you can either say the apples were sent to Grandma by the children. Notice that one is were. Always remember that. I know you're a higher level learner, but these weres and wases always get people confused. So plural, the apples were sent to Grandma by the children. Grandma was sent apples by the children. So in the first one, maybe you're thinking about these apples. Maybe they were special apples. Maybe there was something particular about them. In the second one, maybe it was Grandma and she's looking at these apples and you're thinking, oh, that's a nice present. I wonder who sent her those. Okay, let's look at another example now. Okay, let's look at this bicycle again. So, somebody stole my bike. Really, as Alex pointed out, the important thing here is my bike was stolen. If you don't know who did it, you're going to think about the bike being stolen rather than somebody who stole it. And it's interesting that if you use the verb gave lends itself to having those two different objects. So there's somebody again. Somebody gave my bike to the police. Okay, so you might say the police were given my bike, and that would be grammatically correct. And police here is a plural. My bike was given to the police. Both meaning the same thing, but again, I think you choose the latter one because it's the bike that's the important thing here. So you can see you get these two alternatives that are both correct and both mean essentially the same thing has happened, but they just got slightly different emphases. Okay, now let's deal with somebody and the notebook. So somebody took my notebook. My notebook was taken by somebody. Nice and straightforward. However, let's try using the verb showed. Now here, showed can have a nice double object on it. You can have two different objects. So let's have a look. Somebody showed my notebook to my wife. Now maybe I had something written in there that I shouldn't have done. So it might be that I'm talking about the notebook and I'm upset that somebody is giving out my private details. My notebook was shown to my wife by somebody. Okay, but also it might be, what's wrong with you? Why are you looking so upset? What's happened? Oh, my wife was shown my notebook by somebody. So here you see, that's the thing with passive voice. It helps you put the emphasis on the thing that's important. Okay, let's just go through some examples of active sentences that you can try and swap round to make passive. So what's this first one? My wife sent me an email. So there again, you'll have to think about that carefully. How are you going to make two different passive sentences out of that? He brought his mother some flowers. Yeah, he went to the garden and he brought them home. Is it the flowers or the mother that you're going to use as the subject of this sentence? He cooked all his friends a delicious meal. Let's try that one. Next. Afzal booked a table for me at the restaurant. You should be able to get two different sentences out of that. And finally, the children's mother read them another story. And I heartily recommend here that you look at British Council website. If you put into Google Learn English British Council double object verbs, you will find a lot more information about this. Okay, thanks for watching. Goodbye.